Welcome! Today I'm going to be painting this fireplace tile behind me a nice matte black color. And I'm going to be using a much simpler process to paint this compared to some of my other tile projects. I'm somewhat of a tile pro if you go by the standards or the reviews in some of my other videos here. But in this case, I'm not going to be using an epoxy or any kind of special tile primer or anything. I'm going to be using a bonding primer. So we're going to go through the steps here in this video, but this video is going to be taking place over the next few months. It's all going to be in this one video, wrapped all up in a nice project, hopefully a very nice, straightforward video for you. But I'm going to paint this today, and it's late September. And I'll come back here in about 3 months around Christmas time, and I'll show you the leaves have fallen from the trees. And so that way you have a timestamp. And we'll see how long this lasts. I'll prove it to you that this will be a nice, strong bonding paint. My kids also put you see the little wagon there, that little car? All their toys they place here on the mantle at the end of the night. If it's gonna get scratched up, this is the place where it's gonna happen. I'm gonna show you how durable this process actually is. But let's get into the steps. Super simple. Again, quick video. All the products here will be down in the description below that I'm going to go through. Let's get into it. This is basically what you'll need here. You'll need tape to tape off the area you're going to paint. Then your paint supplies, obviously, a foam roller and a brush, usually a cutting brush, which means it's kind of angled so that way you can get the corners. A sander, and I'll show you why. And then you'll need your Valspar bonding primer or some type of bonding primer. They've changed the label on this recently. This is what it looks like now. Then your paint, which I'm using one of the highest end Valspars, which, Sherwin-Williams probably would have been preferred, but it is what it is. I got this here. It'll do just fine. The primer and the bonding to the tile is the important part here. And that's it. I'm starting with my first round of cleaning. Using an abrasive cleaner is best, like CLR or Barkeeper's Friend, but this tile is actually in really good condition, so I'll just use a basic bathroom tile cleaner that I have on hand already, and the abrasive side of a sponge. Now that I'm done with the first round of cleaning here, I'm going to address a question and answer I get all the time, and that is, do I really need to sand? And the answer is yes. Cleaning with a sponge, I don't care if you use a brush or some other kind of mechanism, you're not going to get all of that grime. I'll show you some paint chips I have down here on the tile that have come from the paint project I did above the fireplace. Wiping it down with the sponge isn't going to chip that off. I got a few with my fingernail that I saw, but this is going to clean up all of that other gunk that a typical sponge and your cleaners and degreasers will not take care of. Plus, the main benefit of this is to actually get rid of some of that glaze or that glossiness on the tile and make your tile somewhat abrasive. The other concern I get is, hey, I'm not seeing any dullness in my tile. I don't see any scratches or anything like that. Trust me, it's doing more than you think. And even if it's not, I have never had a tile paint issue, and I see other people that do have tile paint issues, and I credit it because the prep work I do is top notch. You clean, you sand, you clean again. Prep work is the hardest part here. Painting this little thing is gonna take no time at all. It is the cleaning, the elbow grease. And I'm using 100 grit sandpaper here. Something 100 grit or higher is typically pretty good. You can see here just how thick this stuff kind of is. Look, it's holding its shape. Jello. By the way, you like my new countertops? So I'm gonna start with the brush and then come back with the roller because brushes leave brush streaks and the roller will smooth out those brush streaks later. I'm also going to keep all my brush streaks going in the same direction, just in case some do still come through. I got my brand new fan going. It's gonna dry this off. I'm gonna do 24 hours on the first bonding coat so it really adheres well to that tile. Then I'll do a second bonding coat and then 1 or 2 of the final coats depending on how it looks with just the one black paint. Hold on, let me address one thing. I know it's gonna pop up in the comments. See, I'm getting kind of good at this YouTube thing. I'm addressing your concerns ahead of time. But do not use this method if you are doing a shower tile, bathtub tile, whatever, really any kind of bathroom water surface tile. This will not hold up most likely in there, and you do not want to have to redo this and peel this off and sandblast it, whatever you're gonna have to do. Don't do that in your shower. All the chemicals, all the wear and tear and abuse will start chipping this away. Most likely, that's my guess anyways. You will want to use an epoxy or like a glazing tub and tile kit. I do have a link somewhere up here in the corner and down in the description on my other video where I do specifically go through how to reglaze your bathroom tile. So go ahead and check that video out for that. This is more of like just aesthetic, visual type of tile. Can you walk on this? Technically, yeah. And again, I will show you in a few months as all these toys here end up going on and off of there while I have a 2 and 3-year-old stomping around and dragging things around. I'll catch you up on how that shows up. And it'll be really apparent because I'm doing matte black paint. The leaves are still on the trees and you can see it's nice and painted here. So we'll check back in a few months